What's up, you certified beauties? Nick here from Nick's Taxes, and in today's video we're going to look at some growth stocks that I think have the potential to go to the moon. That's why I got this photo here, to remind me of where I'm going very soon. But in today's video we're going to look at a couple Canadian growth stocks as well as US. Got to represent Canada with the denim jacket. But yeah, let's take a look at some stocks and put them on your radar. Let me know what you think. These are on either my radar or stocks that I've already bought. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my stocks. If you agree or not, I encourage you to do your own due diligence. But before we jump into the stocks, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I make videos on personal tax, finance, and investing, so be sure to subscribe. If you get value out of this content, give it a thumbs up. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram now at Nick's Taxes. Feel free to follow me there. All right, without further ado, let's jump right into the stocks. I'm just going to do a quick overview of all of them for you to take a look at yourself. The first one is under ticker code BB. It's BlackBerry. Now, you may recall BlackBerry from back in the day. If you had a phone, a BlackBerry phone, they have now completely revamped what they're doing, and they're now in the whole cybersecurity space. So BlackBerry used to make phones. They were kind of neck and neck with Apple. They were kind of the go-to business phone, and then they just kind of fell off the face of the earth, but they're back now with a vengeance. The one big thing about BlackBerry, which happened in 2020, was they've partnered with Amazon to develop and market its intelligent vehicle data platform. And this platform would help automakers collaborate with developers to quickly bring new offerings to the market, improving vehicle performance and also reducing maintenance and repair expenses. They're also well positioned to capitalize on the electric vehicle market, as it already has secured design wins with 19 electric vehicle manufacturers. Further, they have cybersecurity and endpoint management solutions, which have helped them acquire many different blue chip clients in that space. Despite its high growth prospects, the company trades at a forward price to sales multiple that is lower than its peers in the industry. Now, at the time of this video, BlackBerry has kind of taken off in the last couple days, but normally it trades like around $8 to $10 per share, and then all of a sudden it's now taking off. Finally, I think investors are starting to notice BlackBerry. They also just closed a lawsuit with Facebook, so that might have something to do with it. But I think this is a stock with great growth potential for 2021, and especially now that is on the hype train. So let me know what you think about BlackBerry. Second stock I'm looking at is AirBoss of America Corp, under the Toronto Stock Exchange under code BOS. Currently trades around 18.51 in Canadian dollars. It was up 8.69% today. This is another stock that's been on my radar that's kind of been under the radar in terms of the whole market, and I believe is quite undervalued, and then the last few days has kind of taken off. And so this is another stock that's kind of been trading around $17, $15, $16 a share. It did spike up to in the mid 20s in the summertime, and that's because it really capitalized on the whole pandemic and personal protective equipment. It has secured deals, profitable deals at that, with the government and in the defense area. So they're looking at some increased and some steady revenues over the next couple of years, which is very good to see. They also have a small dividend yield of around 1.64%. So I think this is one, again, that they're quickly going to be increasing their sales quarter over quarter. And so I believe this stock is also going to take off and get back up to those high $20 per share price ranges that we saw back in the summer. Next stock I'm looking at is CloudMD, Software and Services, ticker code DOC.V. Currently around $2.29. I've made a video on this before. They're kind of in that telehealth market. You're able to go online, use their app, and speak to a healthcare professional. You can do many different things on the app, such as get a doctor's note or a referral without actually having to go to your doctor. I think this is going to be a big disruptor in the market, this whole telehealth thing, and I think it has the potential to be a huge industry. And so CloudMD is one of those players in that space. They're also continuing to grow through different acquisitions, and they've acquired a new leader in healthcare data integration, which I think is key, especially in the healthcare industry. You want to have your security lockdown, and they've also acquired a virtual mental health service through the acquisition of a company called Aspira Corp. So they continue to grow through these different acquisitions, and they're going to have, I think, a 200% plus growth in revenue in 2021, and I believe their stock price is going to reflect that in this new year. They're also looking at going on to the Toronto Stock Exchange from the venture to the TSX, and I think that'll just garner more attention for them, more volume, and thus increasing the stock price. I see this being a $3.30 plus stock in this year at minimum. Another stock I've previously talked about on this channel, it's Planet 13 Holdings. They sell the electric lettuce. If you catch my drift, I'm not going to say it because YouTube's listening and I want to stay monetized. They are on the Toronto Stock Exchange and also on a US stock exchange, so you can buy it through both. In USD, it's $5.70 per share right now. They focus on having superstores. They have a big one in Las Vegas, which I think will be an attraction in amongst themselves. But they also have their own line of this stuff, and they have this great vertical integration of growing, branding, and selling. So I think this has a chance to be a huge player in the green space. And because the restrictions and all of that, and Biden coming into office, I see these restrictions in the electric lettuce space easing up in all over the US, and therefore I think will drive more sales. They're also just building a new Planet 13 in California, so I think that will be successful as well to partner with the Vegas plant. So yeah, look for this stock to get high very soon. All right, so now we're going to transition onto the US side. I thought that was the perfect one to end with on the Canadian, because you could buy both on the Canadian and on the US. But now this one strictly on the New York Stock Exchange is ELY, which is Callaway Golf. I'm really excited about this one. I made a video back in November, and since that video, the stock has almost doubled, which is absolutely crazy. But the big thing with them is they just recently acquired Topgolf at what we think is an absolute bargain of a valuation. I had the chance over Christmas break to go down to the States and try a Topgolf, and I'm just going to tell you that Topgolf was absolutely packed despite the pandemic. It is crazy busy there, and it is a ton of fun, I can attest to. I think they should have one here in Canada, and I think it would be great. This is a play I think it's going to be big regardless if we stay in lockdowns or not. Golf is a sport that is increasing in popularity, and lockdown or not, you're still able to play it because of the whole social distance aspect of it. So Callaway, they sell golf clubs and different golf accessories, and now they own the Topgolf. So their revenues are going to continue to drive forward. And also Zacks.com, if you've heard of them, they just pushed Callaway onto the strong buy category. So if you're looking for some confirmation bias on Callaway, someone else agrees and thinks this is a strong buy at this point in time. And last but certainly not least is DraftKings, selling on the NASDAQ at $51.29. DraftKings is a sports betting and gambling app basically that you can download and play different games, gambling on different sports events. And so I really like this stock. I think as the US eases up on gambling restrictions, we're seeing Michigan become a state that's going to allow sports gambling as of like today. More states are going to follow suit. New York, Texas are shortly around the corner. And so revenues are only going to increase. DraftKings does a whole lot of marketing, and they've partnered with a bunch of different professional sports teams. They even now have Michael Jordan, the great one, as a special advisor. So I think they're in a good position in terms of market cap and being a market leader. So that way, when your state does open up, DraftKings is going to be the one app that you use to do this. I was down in Arizona, and Arizona is one of the states that sports betting is still currently illegal, and you would still hear DraftKings advertisements on the radio. So everyone knows DraftKings, whether you're allowed to gamble or not, and so I see revenues just continue to increase. This is another pandemic play possibly, as there's not a whole lot of things to do. You can kind of increase the fun when you're watching different sports games. by betting on them. I know a lot of people who do use them and get a lot of excitement and extra fun by playing these games. And so DraftKings, I believe, has a price target of $100 by the end of this year. And I just see sales continuing to go through the moon, both in Canada and the United States for DraftKings. Those are my 6 stock picks. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have a stock that you'd like me to take a look at, also let me know in the comments below, and I'll see about adding those to a future video. But that's all for this video. Again, I just ask that you give it a thumbs up if you got enjoyment and value out of this. And of course, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Nick from Nick's Taxes. Happy taxing.